People have always asked me what my favorite film is. That was always a question I had a hard time answering. But after giving it some thought, I finally managed to compile my top 5 list. These are not necessarily the most perfect film of all time, but movies that have changed my perspective of how I see films. So, without further ado, get your tickets ready as we travel to 3 different countries. Starting off with number 5, we have Requiem for a Dream. This movie follows 4 different drug-addicted characters and how their life spirals out of control. Requiem for a Dream is the only film on the list I've only seen once, and it still lands in my top 5. After 10 years, I still remember this film clearly. This movie is a gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, unbearably miserable film to watch. And why do I still put it in my top 5? Because it delivers what it exactly hopes to do, and it stuck with me till now. Do I plan to revisit it? Maybe one day. But this is one of those movies that is extremely painful and disturbing to watch, and will forever be one of my favorite films. Looking for a horror film to watch? Look no further than Suspiria. Suspiria is about an American girl who travels to Germany to join a ballet academy, but later realizes something more sinister is going on behind the curtain. This movie bombards you with neon lights and an eerie psychedelic funky beat that is guaranteed to hook you as it perfectly blends you into Dario Argento's world, causing you to forget what reality is. If you go into this film hoping for a unique plot or a story that will blow your mind away, you will be slightly disappointed. What this movie lacks makes up with its expressive color-seeping shots that linger with you days after you finish it. Trust me, it is one of the best out there, and I plan to revisit this on my Halloween marathon this year. Andrei Tarkovsky is one of my favorite directors of all time. I love every one of his films, but the one that changed my perspective on film the most is Stalker. Stalker is about a writer and a scientist who ventures on a journey to look for a room that grants them wishes. I really don't want to say too much, as the less I say, the better. Stalker is the first I've seen from him, and it is the one movie that taught me to appreciate silence and long takes, as it is one of the most powerful tools in delivering a message to viewers. The long takes allow you to slow down and immerse yourself in the character's environment and feel their every emotion. Every scene is so poetic and dreamy that you are hypnotized and can't let your eyes leave the screen. It is not just a movie, but a spiritual journey. I can see either people loving or hating this movie, but this will always be a masterpiece for me, as it opened up a new doorway for cinema. 2001: A Space Odyssey is a movie that will always put me in awe. It is a movie about a space crew that discovers a mysterious artifact and decides to find its origin. This movie asks questions that people still try to answer to this very day. A movie filmed back in 1968. Yet, coming up with such a vision can never be matched. Remember, back then, there weren't the waves and barrage of CGI that we have nowadays. Instead, the whole film mainly uses its set design and camera work to bring us into the mind-altering trance. It brings us straight into the minds of humans and what it is to be one. Honestly, I can go on forever about how this film changed my life, but watch it and see it for yourself. I remember watching Bicycle Thieves when I was 13, and I still remember the emotions it evoked from my first viewing. This was my first time watching a black and white film, and who knew this would turn out to be my favorite film of all time. This movie allowed me to expand my scope of cinema and enjoy countless more to come. The movie story is simple. A working class man whose job is to put up posters. To do so, he needs a bike. So, he sacrifices prized possessions and pawns them to buy a bike for work. Sadly, the bike is stolen, and together the father and son roam the street looking for the bike. This film is so simply filmed, sometimes it feels like you're watching a documentary from that period, making it so great and grounded. It does not require extravagant camera work, set designs, or fancy editing. Just simple shots to help bring out the beautiful yet haunting world of how the working class struggled after the post-World War II. This movie is about the harsh reality of life and how one struggles as the world tries to bring you down, and it is so well made that it will forever leave a lasting impact on me. Have you seen any of these movies? Which one is your favorite? What is your favorite movie of all time? Comment below and let me know, as I am always looking for new films to see. Last but not least, remember to hit the subscribe and notification button for your next travel ticket.